You tell yourself you cannot step away because the business depends on you. But the business depends on you because every decision you have made for the last 3 years was a decision to make it depend on you. Every time you said, I will just do it myself. Every time you rewrote something your team sent over. Every time you stayed in the loop on something you did not need to be in. Those were not accidents. Those were design choices. You built this on purpose, just without realizing it. This is Notebook of a COO. If you are building a business and you want operational thinking instead of motivational content, subscribe now. This show is not about hustle. It is about the systems that actually scale businesses. Season 2. Let's get into it. Most operators think owner dependency is a systems problem, so they do what the internet tells them to do. They document their processes, they hire a virtual assistant, they buy the project management tool, and 6 months later, they are right back where they started. Same phone, same 11 messages on Monday morning, same feeling that the business cannot move without them. The reason the fix did not work is not that they picked the wrong system. The reason the fix did not work is that the fix was aimed at the surface. The real problem is 3 beliefs that live underneath every decision an operator makes about their business. 3 traps that every owner-dependent business was built on top of. Name them, dismantle them, or every system you build becomes another thing only you know how to run. Let me describe an operator for you and you tell me if this is you. You have documentation, you built the SOPs, you have a team, maybe 2 people, maybe 5, maybe 15. You have a project management tool, you have a CRM, you have automations running, and you still cannot take a real weekend off. You still get the Saturday morning phone call that could have waited until Monday. You still check the inbox on vacation because you are the only one who knows how to handle a certain type of email. You already did the work everyone told you to do, and the business still runs through you. That is not because documentation does not work. That is because documentation is not the level you are stuck at. You are stuck at the belief layer. Drop a comment if you have already tried documentation and delegation and still cannot step away. I want to hear where you are. Trap 1. The control trap. The belief sounds like this. If I do not do it, it will not get done right. That belief feels like experience. It feels like professionalism. It feels like accountability. It is actually the single biggest cause of owner dependency in a business. Because that belief does not just keep you doing the work, that belief keeps you reviewing every piece of work your team does, every email before it goes out, every deliverable before it ships, every decision before it lands. You tell yourself you are protecting quality. You are actually training your team to stop thinking. Why would they make a call on their own when they know you are going to review it anyway? Why would they build judgment when they know the judgment does not need to exist until you see the work? You are not protecting the business. You are removing every reason your team has to develop the skill that would let you step away. The fix is not a process. The fix is a decision. You decide that for the next 30 days, you will not review any output in a specific category before it goes out. You pick the category, you pick one, and you let the work go. Some of it will not be how you would have done it. That is the point. What you are building is not your exact style replicated 10 times. What you are building is a team that can execute without you. Those are 2 different things. Trap 2. The quality trap. The belief sounds like this. My standards are too high for anyone else to meet. This one feels different from the control trap, but it is actually the control trap in a different costume. Here is how you know you are in it. Your team produces work. You redo it. Not edit it, redo it. You tell yourself it would have taken longer to explain what you wanted than to just fix it yourself. That story is true in the short term. It is a disaster in the long term. Every time you redo someone's work without giving them the feedback that would have let them do it right themselves, you are teaching them that the finish line is not their finish line. The finish line is your version, which means they stop trying to find the finish line. They just hand you something and wait for you to take over. You built that pattern. The fix is not to lower your standards. The fix is to teach the standard. Write down what done looks like for the 3 most common deliverables in your business. Not a vague description, a specific one. What makes something acceptable? What makes something excellent? What makes something unacceptable and requires a redo? Then give that document to your team. Most operators have never actually written this down. They hold the standard in their head, get frustrated when nobody meets it, and quietly reinforce the pattern that makes them indispensable. Write it down once, share it, stop redoing the work. That is the move. Drop a comment if you redid a team member's work this week. First step is naming it. Trap 3, the indispensability trap. This one is the quietest of the 3, and it is the hardest to see because operators almost never admit it to themselves. The belief sounds like this: the business only works because of me personally. And somewhere underneath that belief is another one: I am not sure who I am if the business can run without me. I want you to sit with that for a second, because the reason most operators never actually build a business that runs without them is not that they cannot figure out how, it is that they do not want to. Being needed feels like being valuable. Being indispensable feels like being important. And the thought of a business that hums along whether you are there or not can feel, on some level, like a loss of identity rather than a win. That is not a character flaw. That is a human response to building something with your own hands for years. But it is the trap that keeps the ceiling exactly where it is. Every time a system you built actually works without you, some part of you feels a flicker of something that is not pride. It is a small discomfort, a small, wait, what am I for now? That feeling is not a signal that something is wrong. That feeling is the exact feeling of a business becoming a real asset instead of a real job. The operators who scale past this do one specific thing. They redefine their role on purpose. They decide what the business needs from them that only they can give: strategy, vision, key relationships, capital decisions. The 3 or 4 things where their unique judgment genuinely matters, and everything else gets handed off. Not reluctantly, deliberately. If you have never written down what your actual job in your business is supposed to be 6 months from now, you do not have a role. You have a habit. And habits are what built the trap in the first place. So what actually changes this? 3 moves. Move 1. Name the trap that is most true for you right now. Not all 3. 1. Which belief is driving the most decisions in your business this week? If you do not know, you are probably in the control trap. Most operators start there. Move 2. Audit 1 week of decisions against that trap. Every time you made a decision this week that was driven by that belief, write it down. The email you sent that could have gone to your assistant. The meeting you took that could have been delegated. The work you redid. The approval you required. That list is the intervention, because the moment you can see the pattern on a page, it stops being invisible, and patterns that become visible can be changed. Move 3. Bring in the operator layer. This is the move most operators skip because they think they have to do this alone. You do not. Here's your one move out of this episode. Take the free operator assessment. It tells you in 3 minutes exactly which trap your business is organized around right now and what the right next move is for an operator at your stage. 3 minutes. Free. Link in the description. And if you already know this describes you, if you have already tried the documentation, the delegation, the hiring, and you are still the business, send us a DM with the subject line COO on demand, and we will get you the details. We only have 8 seats left, and they will fill fast. If this episode made you uncomfortable in a useful way, share it with one operator in your world who needs to hear it. Subscribe if you have not. There is more coming. Wherever you are, that is exactly where you are supposed to be. But that does not mean you have to stay there. Until next time.